Hey everybody, and welcome back. I'm finally glad to be back here with you, and I've been procrastinating on some of my videos I've been wanting to do because there's been a lot going on at my house. So I'm glad to be back, and today we're going to be talking about the big 4 protocols that I have on my Wellevate site, and I'm going to explain why I've chosen these particular supplements and why they're important. And this would be for the person who doesn't have a lot of money and just wants to get started, okay? But one thing you have to understand is that nothing is gonna replace a good diet. So if you're eating processed foods and a lot of acid-forming foods in your diet, it will help you, these items will help you feel better, but you're really doing kind of countering what you're trying to do with these if you are not supporting that with a good diet, because just the basics is that you eat food, and what you put in your body has to use to make energy. And you have these little factories in every single cell of your body called mitochondria. They create what is called ATP, and it's energy, and your body uses ATP to create energy. Now, as you're using that energy, there's combustion in every cell. And what kind of combustion is that cell making? Like, is the ash an acid, or is it a base? Acids corrode, okay? They break down. They cause everything to get stiff and hard. So if you have lumps in your under your arms and your neck, and your neck's in here, you're growing, or you have lumps anywhere, you need to understand that your body is not removing those acids. They're getting stuck in your lymphatic system. And your lymphatic system is what pulls those acids out, which is also a big part of your immune system. So they pull those out, but they have to go through the kidneys. That comes out of your kidneys, okay? So your body flushes that out. And if your kidneys are not functioning, then you can't pull those acids out. So you want to eat right. You want to eat I recommend a raw food diet as much as possible. Fruits and vegetables. Now, your fruits are the most energetic food that you can eat. It gives you lots of fast energy. Your body does not have to use insulin to use the sugars. If you have a problem with blood sugar, you have to start thinking of other things, like your adrenal glands are down, or your pancreas is not functioning right. So you should have no problem with fruits. So kind of get that scare out of your head, all right? If you are having problems with fruits, and that means we need to support the adrenals or the pancreas. More than likely the adrenal glands, because your adrenals do so many things. And but anyway, that's the basics. I didn't come here to talk to you about all of that, but I wanted to tell you about the big 4 and why I chose these, okay? So we're gonna start with urinary formula. Well, as you guys have probably seen, the urinary formula, the herb farm one that I have on my protocol is it's a great formula, and it's my favorite formula. But it's been, if you're going to have one formula, that's the one that you should use if you can get it. But the supply chain has been down, and I don't have any on hand right now, but let me tell you what's in that formula and why it's so good. So just like I was saying earlier, number 1, if your kidneys are not filtering, then that's a number 1 thing you have to start on, okay? Get off all that acid ash foods and start replacing it with something that is going to hydrate your body and start loosen up that hardness and flush out those kidneys. So the way you can tell if your kidneys are functioning, a test, by the time a blood test or a urine test shows anything, your kidneys are already having issues and have had for a long time. So this is one thing that you really want to stay on top of it. How many people do you know that are, having kidney issues or liver issues? So those two work together. But let's talk about your kidneys. So what you need to do, and this is, don't assume that your kidneys are functioning. Are you having low back pain? Okay, it could be your kidneys. Maybe they're retaining fluid. Anytime your body is retaining fluid, that is telling you that you have inflammation, okay? Because our body uses water, it brings in edema, and to buffer out those acids, it brings in cholesterol, okay? Cholesterol is a buffering system, and it will steal calcium from your bones because calcium is very alkaline. So those are the things your body will do when you have a lot of acids that are building up in your system. It uses all those things. So those are all reasons why you want to alkalize your body, because you want to be able to have strong bones. You want your kidneys to function. You don't want to have that cholesterol in an acid environment where it's plaquing and sticking to your arteries and things and causing heart issues. So anyway, the one that I have chosen for the big four is the Herb Farm formula. And here's what it has in it. And these are traditional uses that people have used these herbs and have found that that's what the herbs do for them, okay? All the herbs have been used for thousands and thousands of years, but we found through use how they work in the body. Though now what we're finding is that the pharmaceutical companies and the schools, the medical schools, are now starting to do tests, and what they're finding is a lot of the uses that we have been using these things for are showing that there's actually a chemical, reaction or whatever, and that they really do work the way that we've been using them. But anyway, so goldenrod is traditionally used to reduce pain and swelling. It's a diuretic, so it's going to help your kidneys move, okay, and it's going to help pull out water from around the cells where you have swelling. It's been used traditionally for gout, joint pain, rheumatism, and arthritis. It has corn silk in it. It's traditionally used for infections, inflammation of the prostate and the kidneys, also for kidney stones and bedwetting, okay? Horsetail, also used for fluid retention. It's been used traditionally for bladder infections, the inability to control urine, okay? It also supports bones and wound healing and hair growth, and that's why I started taking that, because my hair was so thin, and I was losing it, in the corners of my head, and it was just falling out in clumps, and that's one reason why I liked this formula, because it has horsetail in it, and it will make your hair grow back and make it thick, okay? Horsetail is full of minerals, and minerals are all alkalizing. So anytime you have minerals, you're gonna get alkalinity in you. Uva ursi, also known as bearberry, has been used traditionally for urinary tract infections and cystitis. Juniper, it's very high in C. All these are antioxidants. Anytime you get something in nature, okay, it's gonna have antioxidants in it, but antioxidants, it's good for digestion, flatulence, heartburn, bloating, and it's an antibacterial, antifungal, and most of these are actually. However, if you can use one formula, that's the one I want you to get if it's available. However, it's not been available lately. So what I've been saying, I hope you have a pencil and a pen, okay? So write this down. This is the Wise Woman Herbals It's a urinary tract formula and the Gaia skin and nail support. So the two of these have most of what that one formula has, plus it has some other things in it that are also beneficial. So if you can do two, great. This one has the horsetail, okay? This one has the uva ursi. It has echinacea, corn silk, and some other things. So both of these together will do what the one does plus more. So if you can afford to do this, this is great, okay? Now that's for both the men and the women, all right? So let's talk about the hormones, okay? So our hormones, the horse system is called the endocrine system, and it tells your body, they're basically like commanders, okay? So they tell everything what they need to be doing. For instance, your pituitary, which is in your forehead or up in your head here, and your hypothalamus, they're called the HP axis. They are a relay system that if you're not making thyroid hormone, or you're not making your ovaries or your testes are not making what they need to make, they're a feedback system that tells everything what to do, how to make your adrenal glands, your thyroid, you know, all the hormones. So that is very important in the healing process, okay? Because you need those commanders to be giving your body energy and making the commands. So I've chosen for the women the Global Healing Women's Herbal Balance because it has the wild yam, which honestly the wild yam is not my favorite herb, but it is beneficial to some people. And it has tribulus, which is affects the pituitary. It helps give you energy. Tribulus is it will help balance. So if you have too much of something, it helps to balance that, and you don't have enough, it helps the body to make it. So that's in both the men and the women's formula, okay? It has chase tree berry. I like chase tree berry because it's actually one of my favorites because it lowers excess estrogen. And we know that if you're heavy, you have too much, you're probably storing bad forms of estrogen from your environment. Now your body doesn't make you bad, okay? So our bodies don't make things that are bad for us, they make good things. But when we, plastics and all kinds of things in your environment, the bug sprays and insecticides and all that kind of stuff is promotes the bad estrogens, okay? And if you have PMS or postmenopause symptoms, or you've had a baby and you have depression after having a baby, chase tree berry, also known as Vitex, is my favorite because it raises progesterone. It helps the body create progesterone in your system, and progesterone is the antagonist to the estrogen. So I have added, the men's formula doesn't have that, and I've added that onto so you actually have 5 things in your big 4, but you have the men's formula and you have the Vitex together as your hormonal one. And they both have maca in them, and maca is a tonic. It's a hormonal tonic, so it's good for the general hormones. They have ashwagandha. Ashwagandha is great for the adrenal glands and for the thyroid. So basically, taking these are kind of a general tonic for your total hormonal system, and that's very important. Okay, and then the next one for the digestive tract, because if you're not digesting your foods, you will not be able to absorb and utilize, right? So in the formula, I have this one, the Gaia Liver Cleanse, because you're supporting your liver, and your liver does so many different things in your body, including part of your detoxification, but it metabolizes sugars, it does so many things, and your proteins and things like that. But this formula also has some things that are helpful for the pancreas. Now, if you're really, really ill and your digestion is terrible, you're probably going to need more, but this is a good place to start. Now, I hope you still have your pencil. This is the one that I have listed. However, I have, because I haven't been able to get that one, I've been substituting with the Wise Woman Herbals Hepacaps, and I like them very much. Now, they have a little bit of licorice. Now, I've never had a problem with anybody using licorice, but I know that it can raise the blood sugar or blood pressure for some people. Doesn't happen very often, so just keep that in mind. And this one also has some stuff that is good for the pancreas. So we're hitting so far, right? We've got the kidneys and the bladder, very important. We've got your hormones. We've got your digestion and your utilization of your food, of your food that you eat. And lastly, this is a gentle detox. I love this. This formula is, if you've ever heard of Essiac tea, it was created by a nurse in Canada by the name of Casey. And she took the herbs, certain herbs, and was giving them to her patients. And her patients were becoming healthy from cancer, okay? And so Essiac is Casey spelled backwards. And this formula is based on that, okay? And it's gentle, but it will really pull things out. But one thing you must know, that if your kidneys are not functioning, you don't want to start pulling all this stuff out. Because what is going to happen if your kidneys aren't functioning, all the things that this is pulling out of your system is going to go straight into your lymphatics and start causing lumps because it's not coming out, okay? So do the urine test. Take a jar. Your first urine of the morning, urinate in there, okay? Put the lid on it, put it in a cupboard, and let it sit for 2 days. Go back. If your urine is clear, your kidneys are not filtering, okay? The more white sediment you have in there, the better, okay? The more white sediment you have in there, the better. That means your body is pulling that stuff out of you, okay? So do not start this until your kidneys are filtering, okay? So that's pretty much it. So we've given you, we're gonna support those kidneys and the bladder, okay? We gotta get those going. We're going to support your digestion and your utilization with the liver. If you find that you have food that is solid coming out, then that's a pancreas issue that you need to really address, and buy maybe a pancreatic glandular on top of this, okay? Because this isn't going to be enough if you're not digesting your food, okay? So if you have food coming out, you want to add a glandular, and I have one. I didn't bring it in here, but if you go to my protocols, I have my favorites, and if you open up the favorite, you can do a search for the brands that I've chosen. And the reason I've chosen these brands is because I know that they're organic or they're wildcrafted, and they are not full of pesticides. Because why would you want to take an herb full of pesticides? Because you're just counteracting what you're trying to accomplish. So I've picked certain brands, and You'll also notice that I don't have every product in a certain brand, because I looked at the ingredients and I said, no, I don't want that in here. That's synthetically made, and that's not, I don't want you guys to take things that are synthetic because it's not good for you. Okay, so I hope that you enjoyed that, and now you'll understand why the big four. I'll put some links down in the information section of this, for the one for the men, one for the big four for the women also. And you guys send me your irises, you know, the pictures of your irises along with your health history and your symptoms to linda@goodnewshealthsolutions.com. And I'll put a link to my website there where you can find links to this, links to these protocols, links to my videos, and you can find everything right there if you want, or you can click the link directly to my WellEvade account, and you'll always get 10% off if you purchase through my WellEvade account. All right, send me your irises, guys. I hope you have a great day. Thanks.